Wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go like on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. Well, what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Does that make sense? Like, this world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. We didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
And they were hyped up about saying it too. That's the thing. Like, they were really excited about the jump. Y'all next. Like, what? Like, just the thrill. The thrill in their voices. Why y'all saying we're next? They were happy about, yes, Black Americans are finally getting shipped off. We don't know where they're going, but they're getting shipped off somewhere. Like, they finally struck gold or something like this is an actual goal. This when I said this is an actual goal. People are living for this moment. Like, and the thing about it is, what the flip? Why? Why are you living for the moment that Black Americans get sent somewhere? What? I mean, there is this whole goal, because it makes me think about how that conservative Asian American person, decided we're going to come against Black people. Like, there is come against Black people for the Ivy League schools and stuff. And it was us who actually broke that glass ceiling. It was Black Americans who were in Ivy Leagues first. Because it's our country. So we had to break the glass ceiling, right? So yeah, and they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be in Ivy League schools. They're taking our position. No, if you want to say it like that, it's actually the reverse. Because we were positioned in Ivy Leagues first. So I don't get it. Like, we were like, it's actually the reverse. I just cannot, there's this whole goal is to bother Black Americans. Like, what? And they are really gung-ho about it. Y'all are next. Y'all are gonna get you. It's like, you know how you think about the little cartoons and all the little arrows and stuff pointing, every arrow is pointing at us.
So it seems that most Latinos think that Black Americans are actually immigrants. You guys, this is 2025. You cannot afford to not have knowledge about everything. Okay, a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here. You cannot afford not to read your history or try to find out history of other people before coming online to actually make videos. Well, this is these people's ideology. Over the years, we've seen people try to water down the history of Black Americans living in the US. A lot of them have come out to say that this is not the main history, but this is what it is. Okay, even in schools, it has been watered down, but that does not mean that you cannot get the original history if you really search for it. Well, some Latinos are beginning to find out that Black Americans were never immigrants. Maybe this is why they voted the way they did. Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I'm just going to let this video through, then I'll come back with the commentary. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do it to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go, then I'll come back with the commentary.
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought Black people, Black Americans, African Americans, Blacks, us, were immigrants? Hardest lessons, clearly, it's going to take me a long time to learn and figure out is that other people just don't know what I know. I assume that a lot of people know what I know. That's why y'all keep saying that, huh? That makes sense, I guess. That we're next. Y'all think, what? How do y'all not know how long we've been a part of this country? Black people fought in the Crispus Attucks. Did everybody not, at my little church, Every Black History Month, there was this huge thing. I'll never forget when I came to my grandma's house. It was a huge package, and it was all of these cards. They were ABC cards, but on every card is a letter of the alphabet, an important person from Black history. And that was what we did all February at Sunday school. Like, we learned those cards. We would have to, and then we'd line up at like the Black History program, and we'd have to read them out loud. So I guess I just assumed, oh my God.
Here's something they would never tell you in school. Black Americans are not immigrants. We're not minorities. We're not former slaves in the way they framed it. We are prisoners of war. Think about it. War was declared on our people the moment Europeans landed on these shores. Not just in Africa, right here on this land, Turtle Island, the Americas. We were already here, from the Carolinas to California. We were the copper-skinned tribes they couldn't control, so they reclassified us, called us colored, Negro, and African American to sever the roots. But this was war. Mass incarceration, that's a POW camp. The ghetto, that's a containment zone. Public school curriculum, man, that's psychological warfare. And the 13th Amendment, a legal trap to turn freemen back into slaves. Don't believe me? Look at the language. Negro became a status, not a nationality. And once you strip a people of nationhood, you can do anything to them. Take their land, take their names, make them believe their home is elsewhere. But here's the truth they buried. Many of us descendants of the original Americans, the Yamasee, the Washita, Choctaw, and the Blackfoot, we weren't born here. We were already here. The war wasn't overseas. It was domestic, and it never ended. This isn't about victimhood. It's about status. It's about reclaiming identity, because until we know who we are, we're still prisoners in their system. And the moment we remember, the war ends. Ashe, peace to the gods and goddesses.
And for all the people saying when they're done with the Hispanics, they are coming for the black people next, that does not sound like you are concerned for us. That sounds like a fucking threat. And I tell you this, they're not coming for black people. We are of this land. We are of this country. We are U.S. citizens. And the day that black Americans decide we want to leave the country, the American government will lock the border down and won't let us leave. That is guaranteed. That is fact. We make this nation spin. So cut that shit out.
Somebody tell me that this is wrong. That this is a wrong. So they on here talking about how Hispanic people thought that black Americans were gonna get deported. That we're immigrants. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that's just something somebody came up with. But it does make sense as to all that your next business. But wait a minute. What do they think? Do they know about slavery? No. They clearly don't. So does that mean they know nothing? I mean nothing? Okay, wait. Somebody tell me. Am I crazy?
I'm a prime example of what it looks like to have two parents who are both immigrants, one who's an extreme leftist, God rest her soul, and one who's a complete coon. When my mom came into this country, she came to New York at 18 years old from Jamaica. And within the first 5 years, she started understanding that propaganda that they fed her in Jamaica, that, oh, you're a special kind of black, was a lie. So she took it upon herself to read Black American history, because most of her classmates and colleagues were Black Americans, and these people were kind to her. So she took that upon herself to educate herself. My other parent, not so much. But it goes to show that if my mom was still alive, my mom would have voted for Kamala. As far as the other parent, in his ignorance, he voted for Orange. So let this be a reminder to do the work.
For Juneteenth, I need you to learn that Black Americans are not immigrants. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to, okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be Black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about Black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants made this country what it is, but we are the building blocks, the very foundation. So unless you're Native American, you can't say nothing to me about that.
Now people are saying that Latinos didn't know that Black Americans are not immigrants. Child, I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. It makes sense though, Because the narrative that I've always heard about, why don't Black Americans have the same drive or take initiative, or, the narrative that we're lazy, even though we worked here for free. Like, didn't you know that? Didn't you know that our ancestors worked for free for hundreds of years? Like, I thought that was common knowledge, but I guess it's not. Like, this is really bad. If this is the case, why do you even need to take away critical race theory? People don't know it now. Might as well leave it in place. They don't know it right now. They don't even know the history of Black people in America. I just don't even know what to say at this point. It's way worse than I thought it was. But I do feel like Paul Mooney, that people are getting their Negro wake-up call, but in Spanish. They Latin wake-up call, they Hispanic wake-up call, because they learn it now.
Yes, this justify the reason why most of these Latinos really voted the way they did, because they all felt that Black Americans might be affected by their vote and they might be deported. Like when they started hearing deportation, mass deportation of all time and all that, this might just be the reason why they voted the way they did, okay, thinking that these other people will be the ones affected and not them. Another is coming to their doorstep. They are now looking for ally, okay, they're looking for allyship between them and the Black Americans, asking them to come out, to come protest alongside them. So when you talk about immigrants, you should be talking about when talking about immigrants, you should be talking about people who decided on their own accord to move to a certain country. Okay, they weren't forced to go to that country. They actually prepared themselves, get a visa, book a flight ticket, and they migrated to that country. And that's a category you Latinos fell into, right? But these other people, they didn't go there because they really wanted to go to America, right? You all know how they went there in the first place. Even though some of you try to water down the history and make it look like this never happened or that's not how it happened, but that is exactly how it happened. They actually moved them there. They didn't move themselves, right? So there's no way this will be affecting them. If they are immigrants, then it might affect them, but they're not immigrants, so they're actually citizens of that country, because somehow this is where they found themselves, this is where they grew up, this is where they know as home, and they aren't going anywhere. Okay, even though some of them have done DNA to find out exactly where their parents came from, and they've been able to find out where their ancestors are from, okay, but that doesn't make it that this is where they are from, because if you look at it, this is where I was born, this is home, this is where I've known as home all my life. So I can't move to any other country and say, oh, I'm from this country, and just like that. Do you get? So you cannot be tagging them as immigrants. I think maybe some of you just need to sit down and restudy your history, try to understand how this whole history thing works. And if you're looking for allyship between somebody, so between you and some other persons, this is not actually the way to go about it. Gaslighting the person tries to make them feel like they are worth nothing in the first place. We will not push them into coming together. Okay, togetherness has to be a two-way thing. It has to be you working on your own part, trying to educate your own people, try to make them understand that, oh, these people are still human, we are together. Try to kill the anti-blackness in your community and not try to rub it in and try to make them feel like nothing is happening here, these people are nothing and all that. Then at the end of the day, you expect them really to come together and protest alongside you. I think some of these people are just not so excited with the fact that Black Americans have come out to say we are not coming out. And some people have also made videos, some Latinos made video and tried to say, oh, that after them Latinos, the next people will be Black Americans. Now the question is, why are you going to send them to? Because if you're sending someone back to their country, then you know where the person come from. Like some of you are coming from Mexico, some of you are from Puerto Rico, wherever, right? Cubans and all that. But guys, they know your country of origin is there. But these people do not have, do you understand, except for the US. So somehow they have always been in this pathway of, try to fight the whole anti-blackness, both in their community and outside of their community. But it's part of them, okay? Dealing with daily life issues is part of them. Don't try to remind them their struggles, but try to understand the fact that your people voted for this. Yes, it is not the people who have been deported that actually voted for this. It is the people who have legal status in the country that decided to vote against their own people. And now that you guys are getting deported, I think the best thing to do is to look for your people and speak to them to speak for you, and not you try to gaslight other people to come out and protest. And after everything, they will be the ones to suffer the consequences while you go back to your country. That doesn't always work like that. I've seen a lot of you make videos online, try to gaslight them and say, we told you this, where you guys have to come out and all that. And why are they telling you, we told you this and all that? Your influencers are actually not talking about anything that is happening in your community. They have not come out to really speak about it or say, oh, this is wrong in the first place and all that. Your influencers are still in their houses having fun of their life without speaking up for you guys, because they do not want to lose brand deals or whatsoever. But none of you is calling them out, right? Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear from you. It's quite unfortunate that it is now you guys are realizing that Black Americans, whenever immigrants, maybe you would have voted for your own self and tried to make sure that your own people stay back in the country, okay, and get their legal stay in the country. Because I am actually all for legal status in the country, but these people, some of them were picked up in courthouses. They were working towards getting their legal stay in the country. Well, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. What's your thought about this video? Let me know in the comment, and please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. So I look forward to seeing you all on my next video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye, guys.